Hello, everybody, and welcome to a semi-impromptu live here. Going to be talking Star Wars. We're going to be talking Bad Batch because that last episode was insane. So anyone who is here or able to watch, able to jump into our public server, I'll be putting the link in the chat. Feel free to hop in, and we can talk Star Wars, and it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to do that right now here on the high ground. All right. So getting started here, I have my dyad element 7. I always forget that this is mirrored, so I need to point this way instead. Yeah, we just had a crazy episode of the Bad Batch. I did my live reaction, a small snippet of it because my reactions suck. And then, Element has his up, but we want to start bringing in, other people to talk about it. So, yeah, we're going to start bringing in some people from the server and have an awesome conversation.
I was when you told me that you don't have good reactions, and then you showed me that reaction, I was like, "Come on, it's Cad Bane."
It was an amazing moment. Or I was gonna say, Carter, you're sideways, but it is what it is.
I'm gonna have to go like this then.
So I want to hear what you guys think of it. Introduce yourself, where people can find, you and your socials and stuff. And then we'll jump into talking about the episode. But Carter, if you want to go first, because I know you are partying right now as we speak.
I'm currently at a graduation party. But yeah, so my name's Carter. You can find me on TikTok at Car2D2. I'm pretty small content creator, but yeah, I'm on TikTok. That's where I'll make all my Star Wars content. And yeah, that's I guess that's a little bit about me.
What'd you think of the episode?
Oh my gosh, I loved the episode. I was screaming actually in my seat, like what? So yeah, I thought that was by far the best episode, and I can't wait to see what's going to really happen next, because I think that kind of just threw a curveball in the system, I don't think anyone expected. I mean, I personally didn't expect. I don't know if any of you guys predicted it, but I don't know. I think whatever they're doing is awesome. And personally, I wasn't very excited for the Bad Batch whenever it got announced and kind of got released, but now with these last few episodes, especially the episode before that with Rex, I'm kind of getting really tied into it, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen.
Well, speaking of predictions, it's funny because after episode 1, Cad Bane was one of the more likely people that I thought could feasibly be inserted into Bad Batch, and then come this episode, I didn't expect it at all. So it's kind of funny to kind of predict it, but also be like, blindsided by it at the same time. It was awesome.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you can see in my reaction, the music changed, and it was not a theme that we had heard at all throughout the episode. Like, it was definitely a non sequitur, and I'm just like, okay. You don't just switch musical themes like that. You don't switch themes and keys for no reason. Something's going down. What are we doing here? And yeah, I was super stoked on that. I'm curious. So one of my favorite game streamers, Chatting Time, is here. He has the best energy while gaming, so you check him out on Twitch. But Chatting, what do you think?
Thank you. First off, yeah. So I woke up for some reason now. Fridays are habitual, wake up at 6:30 whether I want to or not because it's Bad Batch time. So I woke up and laid in bed watching, And I'm pretty sure I did the same thing I did with the Mando finale, which for those who haven't watched, I won't spoil it, but I pretty much cried at the end because it was the most unexpected moment in the show. And me and my girlfriend had a lot of theories we were tossing around of who to expect. You know, you're on the planet Braca. Is it going to be Cal as a kid? Or is there going to be certain characters that could work their way back in? And the last I expected was Cad. Cad Bane and Boyd. And I was really like astonished at how long it has been since we have seen him. I went online and it's been, I think, 9 or 10 years since we've seen him in animation.
Yeah.
And it's not felt that long. And then I'm like, oh, it's been that long. That's crazy. And I was really excited because they brought back the same voice actor and the same one for the droid, Seth Green, which I just was talking about him the other day. So it was really weird timing that this happened. But I was excited. The whole episode was good growth. And I really like the Republic Commando references too. When Hunter's back up. The HUD, I never thought I'd see the HUD.
And then the circle starts spinning, and you're like, yes, that's what I needed.
Yep, the noises and all.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, and we are live right now, Bill, as well.
God.
Bill, I'll mute you for right now, and then you can unmute whenever you're ready. I felt the same way as soon as I saw like the heads up display. I was almost wishing that something splashed on his face so I could see that line go across. And I was
sorry. Is it working now?
Yeah, you
Awesome.
are good.
Okay,
good.
Sorry, technical difficulties. iOS doesn't have adapters for AUX cables built in the box, so yeah. Anyway, sorry about that.
You would think that they would have a dongle for that. There's a dongle for everything.
We got dongles.
So it makes sense.
They're Apple and their dongles.
Yeah,
I'm currently using a dongle.
Real quick though, Element, I want to hear what your next most solid prediction and next most wild prediction is.
So
because I know you do both. You always start wild and you work your way in.
My wild prediction is that we're gonna have like a War of the Bounty Hunters on Bad Batch, but the reason it's wild is because we're having it in the comics right now, and it would be highly unlikely for them to kind of take that storyline and be like, hey, the bounty hunters are all going to war here too. So my most likely prediction is that Nala Se hired Fennec, Lama Su hired Cad Bane, possibly more bounty hunters. And so I think there's going to be a natural clash between those bounty hunters because obviously they're not about the objective, they're about the bounty, right? And so Fennec wants that bounty, so they're going to clash. Cad Bane's going to clash with Fennec, and possibly if Lama Su hired more bounty hunters, we won't have like a war of the bounty hunters, but Boba will possibly insert himself into this bounty, and we might finally get that gunfight between them. And seeing as how Hunter survived that one, I think that with the gunfight between Boba and Cad Bane this time around being canon and not deleted, Cad will survive this one, and then we will get a third rematch. Cad versus Boba in Boba Fett. But everything that's involving Cad Bane right now is setting up for his appearance on Book of Boba Fett. So I think the next episode or the next couple of episodes is going to be Fennec, Boba, Cad, and then the Bad Batch going to Kamino.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the synergy that we're getting here. Although I'm calling that not the next episode, the episode after that. So Carter, I don't want to keep you if you have to party.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
All right, Justin, what do you got? How are you feeling about it?
I was so shocked when I saw that. Like I didn't even seeing Crosshair made me so happy because it's been like a 4-episode drought, and seeing Cad Bane show up like the Western music like showing up. Like,
Yeah.
the music change was so like weird. It was so different than I didn't know it was going to show up.
Does anyone else feel cold? Like I feel like right whenever that music dropped in and there's kind of like a key change, I just felt cold.
I felt that for the whole rest of the episode,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, the goosebumps were there.
and then the first thing I did is I went to TikTok, and Mara J Skywalker, who was on the High Ground podcast this week, was doing a dual live, and that was my first comment. Is I feel cold. The theme of their live was Bad Batch support group, and I was like, I feel cold. They helped me out.
Seems legit.
Love it. And all right, so Bale, you are up and running. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So thoughts on the episode really. I thought it was done really well. I was somewhat expecting Cal Kestis, but that's simply because they name dropped Baraka. There wasn't really any based assumption. So I was thinking, when I saw all the dead bodies, I was thinking, nah, mate. And I saw Cad, and I was even more hyped, man. Like they brought him back from the dead. I'd been reading about in the Star Wars book, and I looked him up, and I was like, nothing's Cat. I didn't know if there's anything covered post Clone Wars, and now to kind of have a final fill in of that gap of knowledge is sick. It's sick. I'm really happy they've done it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What are your predictions? You got anything special? Anything wild?
Prediction wise, it looks like they're kind of setting it up. How many episodes are we getting? We're getting 12.
I think 16, right?
At least 16. 16
okay.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 16 total, but 16 confirmed.
Okay. Because from what I've seen, I was going to say, because I just assume now that things, after seeing all these Marvel shows and all the Mando ones, I always assume it's like an 8-episode format. But I was going to say something maybe similar to a Mando thing, where they take them and then they kind of build up to this big fight. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen necessarily, because I don't know how they could stretch that over nearly like 10 episodes. But I'm sure they're definitely going to have a good standoff with Cad Bane, and that will be incredible. I think they're either going to they're going to do one of two things. They're going to either kill him off, which I think they're not going to do at this point. I don't think they'll bring him back from the dead all of a sudden just to kill him off straight away. I think they're going to keep him alive, and as you mentioned before, probably a good chance of seeing him Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I love it. Cal, your analysis?
Oh man, that episode. That legitimately, Cad Bane is my favorite bounty hunter, and when you hear kind of like the sound cue, I'm like, no, because I was way too.
I can't do it. You're not doing it.
I was too hype during the Mandalorian when you see Fennec Shan's like body on the ground and you hear like the boots walk up. I actually thought that was Cad Bane, because it looked like somebody wearing a duster with spurs or something like that. I'm like, that's very Cad Bane. So I was hoping, obviously I was like, that's going to be Boba Fett, but it's whatever. So finally getting to see him come back again, I legitimately like jumped out of my chair and like clapped so hard my hands still hurt. I was like, ah! I was so excited. But honestly, one of the things I really liked about this episode a lot, as well as the visuals of it, especially during like the engine startup sequence, like it was just gorgeous to see all of the different lighting effects that they had during that too. So it was just a visually stunning episode. Got the fan service with Cad Bane, so I was excited. And yeah, no, it was just an all around hype episode for me. And I was happy to see Crosshair come back. I was really hoping that it would have been a situation where they could have knocked him out with something and started the chip removal process, but hopefully soon.
I'd like to ask the panel as well as Chaco, though, because he started rubbing his head after he got injured. So I want to know what everyone thinks about Crosshair's amplified conditioning being somewhat shaky after being blazed and not.
I think there was a split second where he kind of, he did question it There's like a split second
Like
that he
the
was like,
second when
killed
he was
him.
making
So I
he-
think
oh my God.
probably, I don't know. I think he is definitely feeling a little bit of, like, he's feeling a little bit of conflict, but in the end, he's not going to be able to overpower that himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, sure.
He's definitely not going to be able to overpower it. I don't know what I feel like the heat it would take to overcook the the thing is going to be detrimental to other motor functions or whatever.
Yeah.
I do think though two things, right? One, I've said it in a recent TikTok. I've been saying it. Just because a stormtrooper gets shot a storm or a clone trooper gets shot does not mean they are dead. They fall on the ground. It's meant to dissipate the impact and the heat. It doesn't mean just because they are downed, it does not mean that they're dead. So I love to getting confirmation of that, especially because we all know Cad Bane is not using typical blasters. He is
Highly illegal, I'm sure.
yeah, exactly. So I thought that was cool. But I kind of lost my train. I don't think. I mean, he's not going to be able to overcome his programming by himself, but he does feel. I feel like he feels lost and alone, and knows that he can't control it, and it's just
Consuming him.
we're just building on the regret. Just
Maybe not overcome, but who feels like that had a little bit of an effect on his chip?
Like the reverse
Yeah,
of
for sure.
Wrecker.
Like,
Yeah,
put him on the path.
I think he'll
Of
make
course.
I don't know. At the same time, the last we see him, he seemed pretty angry. Like, get me to that shuttle, and I do wonder. Like, I want to see that redemption path with him, because when we first met him in Clone Wars, he was a little rough around the edges, but he's still a good guy. He's a good soldier. So I'm
He's
hoping
always been
that's the
angry.
path. Yeah,
He also looked like a
little
burnt
edgy.
marshmallow last time we saw him.
Oh.
I mean, the man was getting toasted.
yeah, it toasted in a very similar way that Dengar got his diaper hat or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
jeez.
is one thing I kind of picked up on, the kind of similarities between the head wrapping.
But I do think it's interesting to have both leaders shut down, so we can have a
Yeah.
rebuilding episode.
Yeah,
But they are going to need. All they know now is Omega was taken alive by a bounty hunter, and obviously that means that they are going to need to track down the last bounty hunter that was trying to take Omega alive.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
where are we going to hunt down Fennec? How's that going to happen, since she was just dunking on our boys left and right? What do you guys what do you guys think?
I worry about Cad Bane now because the deleted scene, right? Part of me wonders, what if Boba Fett wants the bounty for himself, and it's like, oh, hold on, let me fight Cad Bane for that bounty and take it there myself. We get a repeat of that duel scene, but actually remade, and then the Bad Batch finds Cad Bane's body after this like kind of hunt to try and find who took Omega, and now it leads them down another path of like, wait, who killed him now?
yeah.
If
I
I
don't
don't, I don't think they
That-
would bring
that
him
could be
back
awful,
just to kill
but-
him.
I feel like
Yeah.
we're gonna get sort of a Maul Obi-Wan in season 3 of Rebels type of vibe with Boba and Cad. I feel like his kind of took aside the main storyline of Rebels and just mainly focused on Maul and Obi-Wan. And I think, if I had to predict, I think we're gonna get kind of that with Boba and Cad, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Kind of a side
that
plot
makes
line.
narrative sense.
Yeah.
And that would be in Book of Boba Fett. Not
I
in
think they
this.
might.
You don't think that would be in this?
No, because I think it would be a lot more impactful if Cad Bane shows up in Book of Boba Fett. They're both seasoned and old, just
Yeah.
like in Twin Sons. And you could have that Dirty Harry moment between the two of them, where it's more meaningful because he just came back. If they brought him back now and then like in 2 episodes he dies, I don't think they would do that. But I do think that Cad does have a death in this story. just in Book of Boba Fett.
Plus,
Maybe
like,
towards
we
the end
want to
of
see
this
him in live
season.
action too.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Ooh, it's I do agree with that sentiment, and a big part of it is that if you like, you can play side by side the deleted scene of that confrontation and what happened on screen, meaning it would be really really lazy. Like when people say lazy writing, most of the time they're wrong and kind of dumb, but if they reuse, well, what makes it lazy is a lack of effort, right? So if they literally reuse the same thing again, that would actually be lazy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see them probably leaving off Bad Batch as almost like a cliffhanger to Book of Boba Fett, because up until now we've not had that much content about it, and I think it'd be a perfect way to tie in to the new series. Although that is just kind of speculation, but I think it would be quite an interesting way to kind of go all of a sudden to raise the hype for the series. Just wait, it's all be finishing. What about the last episodes of Bad Batch be?
Wait, what are you asking?
It'll be like 10 weeks away, right? Yeah. So
Oh, I see what you're saying.
a decent window for kind of people to hold their hype for Book of Boba Fett. So I think it might be a perfect way for them to incorporate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they could do something like, you know, because I've been expecting just a single season for Bad Batch personally, but if they could do one season and then we go into Book of Boba Fett, and we get like later tales of some of these players, and then the second season we go back, so we know some of it but not all of it, and have this like intricate puzzle that we're
Wait, so is Bad Batch
pulling out.
Is it more than one season?
We don't know
We
yet.
don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
Hopefully.
it seems like something that should be more of a one season kind of thing. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't seem like something that can be developed for too long without kind of repeating things. Although you could say, from watching Mandalorian season 1, you could probably say the same thing. So I'm interested to see where they take it.
I think it makes more sense that it's one season, primarily because the timing of this show leading into this Christmas in Book of Boba Fett, I think we're going to see some closure for a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because like the second half of the like Bad Batch is meant to be like much better and like take like a new turn as the slower start that people claimed. It's like likely that it would finish the story for the Bad Batch as different to like the first half of the season would suggest, with its being a bit slower.
No, that's interesting because I feel like for me, so you know, Chaco knows Fulcrum. She and I will talk about Bad Batch a lot, and that's my girlfriend's like username. And so she thinks that it could be one season, but we kind of don't want it to be. Personally, I want to see more character growth amongst the Bad Batch, just because one season and an arc in Clone Wars, I don't feel like I know them enough. And I feel like with 8 episodes left or so, like, are all these storylines going to resolve, some leading in the Book of Boba Fett? Like, personally, my theories were that the Kaminoans are possibly going to do a clone uprising. Is that going to happen? I have no idea. But whatever it's going to lead into, I'm very intrigued that, you know, if it ends in one season, how are they going to wrap this all up? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that's just my take on it, that I want more to feel more connected to them, kind of like Clone Wars did for me with a lot of the new characters. But that's just my take. That's
There's just
where
a
people come
huge-
from.
Well, I gotta ask though, Chatton, what do you think that the cloners, that the Kaminoans are up to? What are they planning?
I have 2 theories. So the first theory was that the cloners on Kamino need Omega, or one of the Bad Batch clones, to create the Death Trooper program. And that is how in episode 1 they talked about being relevant to the Empire. I think that they're going to need to do something to say, hey, like, we can still do things. Like, you don't want a trooper corps with clones. Like, we can make specialized troopers that can do things for you. And my other theory was, and this is for 2005 Battlefront fans, the Kamino uprising in the Rise of the Empire storyline. And now that one's like 20 years after Revenge of the Sith. So the timing of this is like super. That's why I think one season, if they're going that route, wouldn't be enough. But if they do have multiple seasons, I think that Kaminoans are slowly trying to build a clone army. And the stormtroopers will already be integrated into the Empire, but they're still going to have clones left. And then they're going to try to have a backlash. And it's probably less plausible because that's literally fighting an entire galactic government. But they're not going to have another client. So they make it a little irrational. So
That is a good theory, to be fair. It's one of the better ones I've heard.
I don't know. It could go any way, but those are my two. And when they both don't happen, I'll be so happy with whatever does happen. It's good storytelling.
I do think that the clone uprising needs to happen sooner rather than later because it needs to happen at a point where the clones could potentially win. You know what I mean? Where if we wait too many years, then the sheer amount of stormtroopers is just going to be overwhelming, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's kind of why I think they'll do it too late. Like right now, they're baby stepping it, but by the time they're like, let's commit to this, like you said, they're outnumbered and essentially outgunned. And then that is what's going to further reinforce Tarkin's mindset of, oh, like we have dedicated soldiers. Like they're conscripted. They're not warriors like the clones, but we outnumber them. We can outnumber anyone in the galaxy. Throw in a Death Star, you think you're unstoppable.
And Element, what's your analysis on that and General Rampart in general, which is
No, I haven't spent too much time analyzing that whole side just because, like, you know, you come from a perspective where you know how things kind of turn out. Knowing how the clones just kind of got, you know, fell by the wayside and Rex, Wolf, and Gregor end up just, you know, retired on this walker on, was it Lothal or Tatooine where they were at? So I don't know, I don't have any kind of, you know, positive outlook on a potential Kamino uprising. I think it's going to be quashed pretty quickly. I do want to amend my wild prediction with Quinlan Voss. Shout out to our good friend Alex from Explained with his weekly Dryden Voss insert. Quinlan Voss is my weekly insert. Don't worry about it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I just had to insert that. I think Rex is meeting Quinlan Voss at the rendezvous.
No, I would absolutely love that. I'm a huge Quinlan stan. I think all the reasons that people want Mace Windu to come back are reasons that should be put to Quinlan, you know?
Yeah.
But I know. I mean, we'll see what happens because we saw that scene when they walk in and Rampart was like, "No, everything that you guys have needs to come through here. Come through us first." Like they're taking over. Absolutely, they're trying to take over Kamino completely. The Kaminoans are not going to like that, and so whatever their plan is will need to be enacted sooner rather than later. And I don't think there's any way around that. So I'm seeing like one episode where they go back to rather than later around that. So sorry, someone is does everyone else hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Someone's
shadowing
the stream.
Oh, sorry, that's me. I'm so sorry about that.
Okay, I was like, all right, am I having a stroke or like what's going on here?
Probably that and the stream.
Yeah.
So,
I'll take care of both. And again, I want to thank you guys for joining me for the conversation. I know I didn't like advertise this a whole bunch because I did want to have it in a smaller group so I can keep you guys around more rather than the constant cycling, and so
Yeah.
this is kind of a proof of concept, and I'm digging it so far. But
I do want to
yeah,
ask Cal for his predictions, wild and rational, because I don't think he was able to give that.
let's go.
I mean, I feel like everybody else's predictions are kind of on par with where mine are. I also oddly try and live in a weird state with Star Wars where I don't have expectations. I just like to kind of just take what we get. So
That's a good
I can
thing.
definitely see like things coming to a head on like the Kaminoan research facility and stuff like that. But I don't know. I worry about people sometimes when they get a little too in their heads with expectations, like, oh, we're gonna get like 3 seasons of this show, and it's like, well, we only get 1, and now they're disappointed and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I'm the kind of person that would also love to see like 10 seasons of this, and just like every year between now and the fall of everything.
Well, so
but-
okay, if you wanna avoid that, then let's go away from expectation. Give us your wildest prediction for the next couple of episodes. Just wild. Don't even worry about rationality or narrative thread. Just be like, oh, this is gonna happen.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's rooting for Crosshair, and I think that everybody's going to get kind of a sad betrayal from it, where he's not actually going to be redeemed. So that's
hurts.
it hurts, but I don't know. I also was kind of on the side of why don't we see them in Rebels or anything like that. And so part of it is I was wondering, wow, is this going to be a Rogue One style situation where we unfortunately watch all of them die? And so I was actually kind of worried a little bit with this episode with Hunter. I'm like, wait, is this the start of that, or are we actually going to not have to worry about losing him? But I don't know. I'm hopefully optimistic, and I don't know, not really taking it with any crazy theories. I'm just riding the roller coaster.
It's a great roller coaster to be on. Yeah, we can hear you, Sanji. Your thoughts on Bad Batch? This latest episode was
hello
hype.
there.
General Kenobi.
Come here, little friend.
Yeah, this is my first time on Discord and going live and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm loving this chat. Like, this is a geek talk that I just need to have in my life right now in this day and age.
Right? This is what keeps
But
us
yeah.
sane.
Yeah, because I just watched the recent episode of Bad Batch the other day, and like I actually thought like there was a lot coming in with the when he played Jedi Fallen Order. That's what I thought. I can't remember which one of you guys that said something about Cal coming in. I thought
I've heard that, yeah.
Which one was that? Grandmaster
Yeah.
Bell.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, did you guys get that vibe as well, or was it just me?
It's the same planet, so I see it.
I was okay with it because he's a child at this
Yeah,
point
he's
in
too
time.
young.
So, like, he wouldn't be able to help. He might, like, flirt with Omega. No.
It would be kind of funny though to have 2 cameos from characters from outside of the Clone Wars as kids. That would be kind of funny.
But
The
honestly,
cameo, real quick, the cameo that I wanted was now I can't think of the species, but the friend that sacrificed himself for Cal, who made it clear that he'd been on that planet for a long time.
That
I
would
thought
work.
we could see him,
That'd be so cool.
but
yeah, I forgot his name again.
It's Cross.
Prof,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's so nice.
Do you think, like, I personally think the last ever series or episode of the Bad Batch before it ends completely, I've got a feeling Vader's going to make an appearance and slaughter everyone.
I don't know about that one.
I
hope
initially
it doesn't
thought that,
do
but I
that.
don't
Yeah.
anymore.
My actual theory was Moff Gideon showing up at the end of season 1 if there is more than 1 season. But
I mean,
that would be
I
cool.
think it should
Maybe
end
would
on.
feel somewhat forced. That's the problem with adding him. I think like you get some people just saying it's just to have Vader in it, really, rather than like kind of flowing with the story. If you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vader's the ultimate.
I originally
like,
thought it should
cameo
end with
fest.
one episode of Bad Batch and then that's it done. But then now, because it's been dragging on, like the last few episodes, for me personally, it's been dragging on. It's like, in a way, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, but it's been a lot of BS. But not BS in a bad way. Like, it's just been like, you know, like,
For
do you get
the,
where I'm coming from?
Well,
Did you watch this latest episode though?
Yeah, the reunion, yeah.
Okay.
That's been the only like my favorite so far.
Well, I mean, this is where I come down on it, because there's a lot. I always hear a lot of complaints about like, oh, there's not enough action, there's not enough of this and that. But
maybe it's just because I'm
everything.
That's probably why.
No, but it's understanding like there's characters that we love and we just love them and we don't stop and think about why do we love them. You know, we wouldn't love Wrecker nearly as much if we didn't see him in the episode with Cutler Quain. That was the first episode. I mean, he built the bunk for Omega, and we saw him in his like, you know, dad poncho and all that stuff. And then we saw, like, we kept seeing little tidbits of them getting closer and closer and closer. We kept seeing little tidbits of Omega going from being utterly useless to getting a comm link, getting a weapon, learning how to use that weapon, and all of that stuff, while it may not be the most entertaining, is important for storytelling purposes. Otherwise, people would just be like, well, everyone's just a Mary Sue because they just do stuff and we don't know how.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, you have to pick one. If I show you how, are you going to be mad that I'm showing you?
in my opinion,
Or if I don't, are you going to be mad that I didn't show you? Like,
Yeah, it's like the fact that the people that have a go at it, or like call it filler content, are the same people that would ask questions if that content wasn't there, that kind of thing. Which, you know, so
that's the
it
point.
needs to be there.
yeah. And also, Pep, we were kind of interrupting you. You were in the middle of saying something. What were you going to say?
Was I in the middle of something? I'm not sure if I was.
Nah, it's all good.
I have a
I
note,
got
though.
Brooke in the chat saying it's not all about action, and that's what I agree with. Is that
Yeah.
this show isn't Clone Wars? It's not anthology going from action scene to action scene. This is closer to Rebels, where we are following this unorthodox family where they're all just clones of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, hang on, what is Obi-Wan now doing during this current episode of Bad
Hiding on
Batch?
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
He's already on Tatooine, isn't he?
He's hiding.
He's-
Mhm.
Yeah,
They
then
have to right
I
after
think
the
Obi-Wan's
so-
something that they're not going to touch till Kenobi. I don't see him being brought in at all.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
he's
Yeah, I don't think that
that's
either.
me.
But do you think we will get a Vader scene? Do you reckon?
I don't think
No.
so. Oh,
No.
that's what I
Vader
was
scene
saying.
would seem too forced.
Possible, but no.
I was saying Vader is the ultimate cameo fest item.
Like,
Because I remember
Insert,
watching-
if you insert Vader into this series, this
You
series
just wanna see
became
Vader.
a cameo fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think we've already
You might
seen-
as well call all of the shows that's coming out on Disney Plus Vader appears.
literally,
Although
like,
it would be pretty funny if they introduce a bunch of different shows and every show has the same exact ending. Vader shows up, kills everyone, and then dips out. And then you're like, oh.
we already know what Vader's doing during this time. Also,
Wow.
I said we could always just introduce maybe. Wait, that wouldn't make any sense. I would say maybe the Grand Inquisitor.
no,
It's like because he hasn't had any good moments of like him being.
actual.
I do want to see more Inquisitor stuff.
I do see an Inquisitor showing up for sure.
That I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe like the first few, right? Or like you're the
I would actually really like that if the Bad Batch is deemed, you know, because the Inquisitors are meant to hunt down Jedi. They're former Jedi that hunt Jedi. But if they was a space for people that were like, the Bad Batch is too much for just a single team to handle, we're gonna take it a step further. Harith, I actually haven't heard your thoughts yet on the episode, and what would you think of an Inquisitor showing up?
I thought the episode was. I think it was the best episode so far with the runtime it was given. I would say I kind of count like last episode and this episode as kind of just one because they kind of do play off each other, like heavily. They're kind of like an arc. And for the Inquisitor set showing up, I kind of agree with your thoughts of, hey, the Bad Batch are too powerful. We can't just send normal scout troopers after them. Let's send something more dangerous. And I kind of agree with you guys that I think Vader's kind of just being kind of overused right now, so I'd rather him take more of a backseat. since the Vader 2017 comics are going on right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brooks got a point.
I think
in
the
chat.
Bad Batch could take down an Inquisitor though, like an average one.
He's building his fortress right now.
That'd be good.
Yeah, he's coming.
If they get Crosshair back as well, all of them, like they could take one Inquisitor maybe.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
That could be a good potential redemption for Crosshair. Maybe them getting faced with an Inquisitor with Crosshair, and then
He's the
having
one
that
that does
moment
the
where he's
final
kind
blow.
of he's sort of on the brink, and then switches over, and they all take down an Inquisitor together. I think that'd be
That
quite
would
a
be
way
good.
of incorporating it.
Yeah, no, but like you're, like Brooke is pointing out here, we have the Vader 2017 comic, which is an amazing run, and Vader is doing a bunch of Vader stuff. He's getting his new lightsaber.
Yes.
Darth Momin is building, the castle. He's going back to, take down the prince, the Mon Calamari prince that he helped institute, which I just think would be super awkward for him or whatever. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Somewhere.
It's like, this seems familiar. Just a bit more malice this time.
One moment.
Listen, they just need to reveal that Sid is reaching out to her lost Jedi contact, which is Quinlan Voss, and that's when the prisoners show up.
If anyone is her contact, it's got to be Quinlan Voss. But
Yeah.
Master, Matthew, what do you think?
What on like the potential of being Quinlan?
Potential Quinlan, and then anything else you wanna add to it.
Well, yeah, if it's anyone, it would make sense that it's Quinlan Voss. But I'm not sure if we're gonna get it revealed to be revealed who her Jedi contact is. Maybe another time. But it would be cool if it was, and I would want it to be Quinlan. But if we're going back to outrageous predictions, I do have a big one that I don't think will happen. I want to chuck it out there because if it does happen, then I'm gonna look like the biggest genius. So
and that's why we make wild predictions, because you never know.
Exactly.
I called it
So,
Bane.
if this happens, remember that I said this. So there was time jump between episode 6 and 7, maybe a couple days or a week, right? So the chances are there's more people that know about Omega. Not maybe too many, but there's more people that know about her being wanted by the Kaminoans now, yeah?
Yeah.
So maybe one person only in Crimson Dawn. Now, this is why I don't think this will happen, because it's going somewhere. One person finds out about this, and then Maul then finds out about it, and he sends Beckett to go and get Omega. And what we know about Beckett is that he's the one that killed Aura Singh. Aura Singh is another bounty hunter who could potentially be going after Omega, and we see the story of Beckett killing Aura Singh on the way to get Omega.
That's got potential.
He just pushed her.
Solo's my favorite movie, so I love this theory. So
It's out there. It's probably not going to happen, but if it does, then here we are.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. As a young boy, Aura Singh made me confused about a great many things. Anyways,
mainly for me, it was the antenna. Which is why I was is it an implant or what is that?
It's both.
both of them.
How old is Omega anyway?
We do not know.
So we really don't know. We don't know if she has accelerated aging or regular aging. She could be, or decelerated. She could be 80. I don't know.
Episode 8 of the Bad Batch. She kills 2 clone troopers with her bow and arrow thing, on precise target.
Doesn't Sid say when she's talking to Hunter, or someone says that you went from the Clone Wars to taking care of a teenager?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that dialogue is out there somewhere. I don't know how old she is, but she is a teen at least.
I love how they all saying the Bad Batch is literally like the Mandalorian looking after a little kid again.
No.
Yeah.
I will say though about
okay,
Omega, I really
ahead.
want to see her in some clone armor. I want to see her get her own set. I think that would be sweet.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
I feel like I should remember
That would be
Bad
really
Batch.
good.
Just
Obi-Wan
like-
series.
Just like they had the small little shackles for Grogu,
Mhm.
they have small little miniature clone armor.
All right,
Oh, man.
the younger clones have to practice. Get used to
That's
it.
true,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
I want to see it.
You're
I think
not,
it'd be
you're not
cool.
wrong.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through real quick the whole crew here. Sanji, we're gonna start with you
Yeah.
because I guess some of this is based off of my prediction, but obviously they're gonna be trying to find Omega, right? But if Omega gets returned back to Kamino, I think we're also gonna get a lot of Kamino lore, and we're gonna find out things about Kamino, the Kaminoans, and Omega. Do you have any predictions of what we might find out? Any
About
predictions of what
Omega?
you want to see? Yeah, about Omega, about the Kaminoans, about
So,
their plan.
I think because I've been off there for the last few days because I work for the NHS. So I've been busy working, but I've been seeing in and out of like something about Omega being like something like a clone of Palpatine and stuff like that, or like some rumors about that.
I mean,
But-
I could see her being like the catalyst for what gets Palpatine interested in strand casts and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because like the
rather than
Mandalorian is.
clones.
I think the Mandalorian is connecting us into the start of the First Order and into Episode 7. So
They already confirmed that, I think.
I don't think that's going to be developed more in the next season of Mando. I think that's going to focus more on Mandalore than it is to do with that. Although I see the link, I don't think they're going to focus on that more. But I don't know.
I've just got a feeling that at the end of when Bad Batch finishes, whether it's one season or 2 seasons or 3, everyone that we know and love is going to be dead.
I've got a feeling they're going to work.
So you're trying to make us cry? No, I'm
trying to make you all
That's
cry.
fair. That's fair. Thank
Rogue
you.
One.
Thank you. I hate you. No, I'm kidding. Harith, what are you thinking?
So for the like Kaminoan lore, I think I kind of agree with the theory of that. Like this is the catalyst for what gets Palpatine interested in Strandcast as a whole. But I still don't think Omega is a failed clone of Palpatine. I think she's like the original DNA that's like getting stretched, mixed with like another person. Like because obviously they're mixing Strandcast DNA together. I still think I don't know if it's anybody important, but it could still be like just a female DNA mixed with the original DNA. So that's what I think she is so far.
Yeah, I mean, if I can plug my original "Who is Omega" video, that is my original theory. She's the start of the research into Strandcasts for Palpatine.
Thing is, every time I meet someone with an Australian or a New Zealand accent, I can't take them seriously anymore because I just feel like I'm talking to a clone.
I'm a clone or a pile of rocks.
Every time I hear someone with an Australian or New Zealand accent, I'm just like, oh. Like, can you imagine you get pulled over by a police officer when you're driving and he's got a New Zealand accent and you're just like,
hello,
okay.
sorry.
These are not the choice you're looking for.
Justin, how about you? What are your thoughts on what we might
My
find out about
prediction
Omega?
is that we're gonna find out what her enhanced like what her enhanced trait is, because we know each of the batch has an enhanced trait. I'm interested in seeing what hers is.
Yeah, we really need to find that out. And then Matthew, your thoughts on it?
I'm really not sure what Omega is, to be honest, or who she is. I've listened to everyone's theories. I don't know which one's going to be right. I don't know which one I believe. So, honestly, I really don't know.
Do you think
But I
she's a
do-
clone though?
Yeah, they said she's an enhanced clone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like an accelerated, like as a female of Boba, Django, sorry.
I do not know. I couldn't tell you. I really haven't thought enough to
Well,
develop my own theory about her.
I mean, if you look at the timing, so if her age isn't enhanced, that would be, well, at least because it mentioned teenager, it would be at least 13 years prior to Bad Batch. So roughly 11 years before the Clone Wars. When was it that Tyrannus recruited Django?
Our king.
Could we see a Geode?
Geode.
My theory is that we've already seen Geode. Geode has been in every Star Wars that we've ever seen. We just didn't know it.
He's
we
hiding
always thought it
R2.
was we always thought it was C-3PO and R2-D2 that were like the pro cameos, but it's been Geode all along.
Geode the entire time.
Do you think we'll see actual Jango Fett clones in the Obi-Wan series, though?
10 years? Probably not.
Because apparently, isn't it true that the clone that stops Obi-Wan and Luke when they're on the way to the...
No.
On the way to the bar, one of them's actually a Jango Fett clone.
So if that information would be anywhere, it'd be in from a certain point of view. I don't recall it being a clone. I would have to recheck it, but it is.
I think it was Star Wars Theory. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was him or some other channel that said that clone on Tatooine that asked for the clone's identification on it was one of the last Jango Fett clones.
I think I know what you mean. I think I've heard that as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
exactly
so we might see a last few Jango Fett clones in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, even though it's a Bad Batch.
The last
I mean,
Jango
I
Fett
suppose
one
it's
was-
possible. Yeah. So we have kicks.
It would be good to see that. It would be good to see
Additionally,
back in armor again.
Additionally, Rex lived beyond that point, and we don't know about the other ones. Again, I would have to double check from a certain point of view to really verify that. But yeah, I would love to find out. That'd be really interesting to know. I see Darth Perkins is trying to join, but I don't see his picture showing up yet, so we'll give him a moment. Who was I on? Bale, your thoughts on it?
On Omega?
Not on America, no.
Omega. Sorry, did it?
Oh, Omega. I heard America, and I was just utterly confused. All right.
He's a clone of Obi-Wan. That's why I forgive his accent.
Omega.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things going around about force sensitivity. I don't see the link, and I don't think I want there to be a link. It seems like I don't know. I don't want
force powers in getting involved.
I don't want that being involved. I think Bad Batch should stay kind of separate from that sort of element of Star Wars. I mean, it's viable that she could be an early thing of a Strand cast, but that would have been very early planning, at least 11 years prior to the Clone Wars. So, and I don't know if when Palpatine starts looking into that kind of stuff in canon, I'm not entirely sure of the timeline there.
Right.
I did meet Darth
It would be
Vader
very
myself.
early on for Strand cast.
You guys can see that.
Right. Okay.
A little bit, yes. Cool. Nice.
A little shiny, so there's
That
a
was
good reflection.
Disneyland in Paris,
Right.
and he was speaking in French in a Darth Vader voice.
That seems somewhat less threatening.
I know it was kind of less threatening, but made me more hungry. I was like, I want to eat a baguette now.
Right.
All right, so just real quick, and Darth Porkins, I'll have you pop up and talk next. If real quick, if you have any final thoughts, Bale, I'm going to cycle you out if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Okay. And thank you so much for joining. And we're going to do this more often because it's been a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Of course. Thank you for hosting it. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
Yes. All right, man. We will talk to you soon.
Cheerio.
Can everyone do their best impression of the hello there from episode 4 and episode 3? Because he says it 2 different ways.
We can, but first I do want to make sure I get the Omega theories from the rest of the people.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Cal's up next.
Yeah, Cal.
I mean, I think honestly, I've kind of agreed with Element's theories from the get-go. That was kind of where my head was at right off the bat. Was I feel like there's something more about her that is not just a clone, and that's going to tie in eventually to being the catalyst to Palpatine wanting to look into Strandcasts rather than clones. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see. I know I see a lot of theories about people talking about her having like mimicry and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's less mimicry, and I feel like she probably just has, like, if she's a Strandcast and not a clone, she has all of the perks from the different members of the Bad Batch just kind of weaved into her DNA from different tests and things like that. And that's kind of what pioneers the concept of kind of Frankensteining DNA together to make a being.
Yeah. That I agree. I do. I feel like, I mean, we need that explanation. But Darth Porkins, we got you here. Also, you have a birthday coming up in a few minutes. So what are you turning? And B, yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need more than yeah.
Turning 15, and yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm putting my back in a minute.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Finn.
Birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
it looks like my in's really slow. I don't know if you can hear me.
Your audio is good, but your video is
Aggie, but we can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah. Video bad, audio good. What are you? So go ahead and just tell us your theories. We'll catch up.
My Wi-Fi is slowly going down, but
Your hologram's
yeah,
not
I'm
as good
turning
as
17, and yeah.
All right. Well, we'll let you hang out
What was
here.
that? Sorry,
Hopefully,
you
it
cut out.
speeds up.
At least you can't hear anything.
No, you keep freezing. Oh man, I want I want you to be able to come on and say more. But while that's being sorted out, let's. Who am I on now? Justin. Omega thoughts. Chatting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just going with it. Honestly, so I didn't think about Strandcasts, but now that you all talked about it, I kind of did, I kind of didn't. I kind of thought maybe she has the Force powers, but then like those were just comments on TikTok. And so when you all were talking about Strandcasting, I went to the Strandcast page on Wikipedia, like we all do. It's our holy book, and it says that it is possible to create a Strandcast who possesses strong Force powers. So if she's a Strandcast, does that technically mean she can have the Force, even though she's a clone?
Well,
so that's.
We don't know what she is.
Yeah.
It hasn't been confirmed if she's either a clone or a Strandcast.
So I know in the past we talked about clones can't possess the actual use of the Force, right? Like the Force resides in them,
right?
But they can't use the Force
as an artificial being. Yeah, and that's and so yeah, that's kind of why we're speculating that.
Yeah.
Because obviously Snoke is a Strandcast, and that's how Snoke was able to harness the Force. We know that the son of Palpatine is not actually a son; is also a genetic Strandcast that wasn't Force sensitive at all. That was Rey's dad. So I don't know what we are finding that stuff out.
Well, then I'd say my theory is going forward with this in mind, I think we'll find out if she is a Strandcast or not. The more you've all planted this in my mind, the more I think it's possible.
I don't think she is though, personally, because she would have used it by now, her powers. subconsciously she would have probably used her force powers, but we haven't seen any of that in evidence in these last few episodes.
Well,
What?
that's not necessarily true though, because we don't know. I mean, when you say like subconsciously like showing off force powers, it could mean a number of things. You know,
It's like Anakin in episode 1, Phantom Menace. Like we only see him like he's got Jedi reflexes and when he's in the pod racing scenes.
but we have seen her read things off of people, knowing exactly who Sid is, and knowing there's been times where she's known who people are before the door opens and things like that. So I mean, there are certain things that could potentially evidence that.
Even just with this last episode with Cad Bane, I mean, I know it's kind of played off as a joke, but her immediately outing him as a bounty hunter, and he's like, "Oh, you know, smart too."
Yeah.
So yeah.
And how would she know what bounty hunters look like? I mean, she has experienced one, but I feel like one is not.
But the thing is, like I've seen that Star Wars theory video of how the clones looked up to Jango Fett. Like, they didn't look at him as like a god or anything like that, but like he's like the father figure. He's like the Jesus of the clones. But like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
video by Star Wars theory.
I haven't seen the video, but I have, reading all of the canon information. We don't have any canon information that they truly knew much about Jango Fett at all.
No.
There's like that may be a prediction, but exactly.
I'd say then, theory-wise, to wrap up on that, then between the string cast, and I also think we're going to see.
Oh, it was stupendous waves.
I think we're going to see the foundations of the clone uprising. I think we're going to start seeing that set in place, and I think that's when the commander told Lama Su, like, "Hey, everything runs through us." I'm wondering if she's got like maybe special clone training sessions, like little things where she's preparing things, and the Empire's like, "Hey, like, what are you doing? Like, get back to work, do our stuff." And I think we're going to start seeing those foundations built. Yeah. I don't know. As a 2005 Battlefront player, I have to see Kamino Uprising in canon. That's all I'm saying. But,
I think that's inevitable for
that's
sure.
The best of the best.
Yeah, and if we can get Boba, hey, I'm not complaining.
Where do all your usernames come from?
I'm sorry?
Where have you got all your usernames from? Like, how's it come? What's your backstory behind your usernames on this chat? Das Choco, Element 7, chatting time.
Mine was from my
Master
brother.
2187.
I mean, we're all picking these up from random places. And now that you have joined us into the Discord, I'm sure, because that's where all of us popped out of here from. I'm sure we'll all be happy to give you an explanation here. But it looks like I was hoping for this to make this run an hour, and we've just hit that point. I want to hit everyone real quick and see if we have final thoughts, and hopefully we can get something like this going again for next week.
Thanks for hosting this, by the way, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy I did it. I chose this week to start it because this was a really good week to start.
Sure,
definitely.
Really good week to start it. Sanjay, any final thoughts for Bad Batch? What we're gonna see, predictions, hopes, dreams?
Like I said, if it's there than one season, which I doubt it will, but I just got a feeling at the end of Bad Batch in general, everyone's gonna die, and maybe one or two clone troopers are gonna escape and bugger off into the universe. And I think Omega, I don't know what's gonna happen to her. Maybe she might get put into the whole cloning process for Snoke and all that stuff.
Omega is Snoke, confirmed.
End of the day, the Clone Wars and all that stuff, that's part of like growing up with that. That's what made me like for example, my screen name, Commander Sanj 519739. That's my ex-service number name when I was in the army, British Army.
What?
I was a second lieutenant in the Scots Guards, and that's my TK number.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's my actual official British Army number, but service number,
That's
which
cool.
I now use for this. So why not? But I think everyone's going to die off. as bad as it sounds, just like in Rogue One, all your favorite everyone dies off. Just, I think the same thing's going to happen. And I've got a feeling Darth Vader's going to appear up. If not, they might have a Palpatine scene. Maybe.
They did
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Palpatine?
The attack on my life. That's
Oh,
what
no,
it
but like
means.
maybe like a corridor scene, like.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
I don't
know,
really
like
need
corridor
to know.
scene,
I
like
don't-
always seen.
Nah, I mean, I gotta. I mean, listen, I try to be very welcoming to a lot of theories, but like, he has this hallway scene. He doesn't need one for every show.
You know, one thing
Yeah.
I realize is like I feel like Disney listens to Star Wars fan theories more when it comes to not films, when it comes to like these kind of like series and like
I guess
episodes.
so, yeah.
Sure.
Because I
mean, films have
week
a
or
much
two before-
longer
a
process.
week or two
for sure.
before I seen the finale to season 2 Mandalorian. It's like, oh, it's definitely going to be Luke coming up. All these YouTube channels like you guys and all that stuff. Oh yeah, Luke's going to, and then Luke turned up and I feel like, oh, Disney was just listening to it and watching it, but they already filmed it by that time.
Yeah, they would have already filmed it. of course.
But it just in my head, like, just helps your mental health and all that stuff. Like, like whatever you go through, whatever helps you, kind of thing. And also, Star Wars also relates to me a lot. Anything you go through in life and all that stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, also we got Gray just joined us here at the end.
Yay!
Hello there. Everyone say hello there. Everyone say hello there.
Hello, everyone.
So
everyone got to
Gray,
say
here's
hello
what
there.
we're gonna do. We're going to.
Hello there.
I want to hear your thoughts on the episode and on how you're feeling about it, and then I'm gonna go back because everyone is kind of giving their closing thoughts, and then we'll come back to you for your closing thoughts. But yeah, how are you feeling about the episode? What did you love? Hate? Just what do you got?
There wasn't one thing I hated about that episode.
No.
This is my first time using my mic and stuff, so if it gets you guys, just let me know.
You sound great.
Okay. And I just have to skip to Cad Bane. So
Yes.
I am
Yes.
a gigantic Cad Bane fan. Like I even have Cad Bane on my whole arm. So
Awesome.
yeah. So when I saw him and his had the way he looked, like that integrated leather look with the gold details. And as always, I'm a gigantic Omega fan. It was sad to see her get caught by Cad Bane, but if anybody was going to do it, would be him.
Yeah.
Can't count him out for sure.
Yeah,
he was facing off with Hunter, and the thought process immediately like, oh, Hunter's gonna lose.
Yeah.
I mean, Cad Bane got
I
one.
think you win.
Oh.
The only reason I thought you could win is because of his special enhancements, though.
He would have only won with plot, and he would have to win with his knife.
Yep.
He's not going to win him with a gun.
Yeah.
But what were you saying? Keep going, Greg.
Oh, I would think that he would win no matter what because he got the best of Obi-Wan and Anakin and everybody many times. I mean, just they usually only got away by a stroke of luck from him.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. How about you, Harith? Final thoughts and such?
So yeah, I'm gonna go because I know a lot of people went macro of like, oh, this is how this series is gonna end and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go more micro. I wonder how the Bad Batch are gonna respond without Omega, because for the most part, I feel like that's kind of Hunter's kind of core piece of himself. So I wonder, because Echo was bringing up, oh, we're soldiers, we go back to the Republic and start fighting that, so I wonder how they're gonna go from here, because that Omega's gone. So what is Hunter's main purpose now? Is he gonna just try everything in his power to get her? Of course, he's gonna try to get her back, but how is he gonna respond over the next couple episodes? So that's what I'm kind of more interested in right now.
Yeah.
He's just a simple man making his way through the galaxy.
Wrecker is going to go ballistic.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
You guys,
Great
why?
In the Mandalorian with all the stars and all that, he looks exactly like him.
and we saw how scary Hunter was. Wrecker was just the last one. So
When he's like, "Good soldiers follow orders," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck." Shit.
and think of how he's going to
I'm
be
swearing. I'm bad. Sorry.
getting back Omega. He's gonna be nonstop. I mean,
I feel sorry for Fennec because I feel like they're going to meet again, and it's not going to go the same way that it went last time.
Oh,
He'll
Ricker's
be
gonna
ready.
slap. He's gonna beat her.
Justin, final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed this episode, first of all, and I'm really interested in how they're gonna get her back in the first place, and second off, like how they're gonna tie in Cad Bane into the story.
No. And the most important question is, will we see Embo at some point?
And
That's
He's
Hopefully.
farming, man. He's enjoying his radishes and carrots.
in his hand.
Shut up, man. I can dream.
In the words of DJ, maybe.
And Master 2187, Joe, what do you got?
Well, we know that the series is going to end in like a sad way. The music, like people that did the music said that, right? So I'm going to go out and give another prediction and say that if we see Rex again, then
Dad
Echo's
already
going to
know you
die
said
and
that.
Echo's going to see it. Not Echo's going to see it. Rex is going to see Echo die. That's what I think. Because that would be sad.
No.
I mean, they
No.
said that the Bad Batch.
Wait,
is
hang on.
going
I
to
didn't
be
hear what you said.
tragic.
What did you say?
I said Rex will see Echo die by the end of the series.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Not that I want it
we're
to
not
happen.
having this anymore.
Oh,
I was
someone's
having a
because
good
it's
day
bad.
until just now.
Brooke says,
so.
"Bye."
Wow.
Hearing that it's going to end on a sad note, I don't know why I'm getting like the Telltale Games Walking Dead flashbacks. But
What is this? What? How about this theory?
I'm
What
feeling a
if
sad
Grogu
Hunter Omega
in the
moment
Bad
on the
Batch?
horizon.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to end. They're all going to hold hands and skip into a sunset.
They're going to all be absorbed
And
by
die.
the Chiss ascendancy. And see him or
Do
hear
you know what? Do you know what I
I-
always say when I go on TikTok and I watch all these like Star Wars theory videos? Like I watch your stuff, Darth Joker, and all that stuff on TikTok. And like when people are like, "Why did the clones do this? What happened to the clones after this?" I always joke, like just as a bullshit joke. I always say the clones all went after the Clone Wars. The clones all went on a starship and headed for the sun. But I said,
They all became a boy band, but it was like a single front man.
yo,
and they just
guys, have you seen
cycled.
Tamari Morrison, the guy who plays Jango Fett and Boba Fett? Have you seen his music on YouTube?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
he's a musician.
It's like, and you look at the comments and they're like, Kamino classics.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when I hear it, I can't take him seriously in anything like that. I can take him seriously, he's an actor and all that, but it's just like, I feel like I'm hearing a clone, like clone trooper from like the Fire of Earth, just singing something. in
But
space time.
Cal, were you in the middle of your final thoughts?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No, I was just more of saying like, hearing that the composers have said that the music kind of ends on a sad note with everything. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can definitely see there being a sad Omega Hunter finale to it.
They actually said that?
Not,
Yeah.
not
They said that it's
Twitter.
going to end
Omega and
tragically.
Hunter, but yeah, that it's going to end on a sad note.
Oh, okay.
He said it on Twitter.
Well, in addition to those thoughts, because I think Master 2187 completed your thoughts, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Cal, what? Anything else, or just that we're ending on a sad note?
I mean, like I said earlier, I feel the Rogue One ending coming, and it hurts.
Exactly like what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I feel
That's
like
what I think.
kind of ending.
Mhm.
I think they'll all
The Bad
die
Batch, right?
saving Omega.
Yeah, because like we don't see them in Rebels or
Mm-mm.
anything like that, and we see other clones in Rebels. So it's like, well, why not these?
Listen, and that's
So,
why.
Yeah.
And that's why I laugh about Embo, because like they say he became a farmer, right? And that's the answer. But it reeks of he went off to live on a farm. And like
and get really good at disc golf.
That's
all of them. No, the Bad Batch don't die. They went off to live on a farm and they chasing rabbits.
It's a legitimate answer.
Honestly, what do you guys think should happen if it was yours to control? What do you think should happen to the Bad Batch on the last ever Bad Batch episode ever? Do you think they should die off, or do you think?
No, I mean that's the question. That's why I'm asking if what they final thought. I mean, how about you, Chad?
I think they're all gonna die. They're all gonna die.
I think I'm gonna take more the Tony Robbins approach and be a little positive, guys. So this is.
We only got one guy with the good.
I do think that. Well, first off, Chaco, you've embedded the thought of Embo showing up now, so thank you for that. I'll cry if it doesn't happen now.
Right.
But I do think that. I think that there will be a positive approach, and I do think they're going to go. I think someone will die. I don't know if it's going to be Crosshair in a redemption, or if it's going to be Echo, like someone we've known since the beginning of Clone Wars almost, doing a self-sacrifice to save the team. They're going to escape, and I think they are going to go to a planet where, like, even Rex is not going to find them, and they're going to go off and live on a farm with a bunch of dirt. Because that's what Omega likes now is dirt, because she didn't know what it was. And I think that, in a way, poetically speaking, like, that is such a send-off for clones who knew nothing but war, and they have the chance to give one clone who's going to be a lab assistant, like, a life of freedom. I mean, that's kind of what Fives, died for, was wanting freedom, and now they're going to be the family that gets it.
And that's what 99 died for, too.
Absolutely.
I think when you said how you wanted a sequel, Chatton, I think that's kind of why I was like, I don't want a sequel, because I want them to be able to, like, they've had enough. They've fought enough battles. Let them live peacefully. They don't need another season. They don't need another. Just let them be, and let them have, like, their rest, and let them have their filler arc.
Right, dude.
I like that. Yeah.
If everyone in Domino Squad is dead, I'm gonna be
the last domino will fall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna go to Lucasfilm and just.
Man, you guys are just a bummer. No.
I
tried to bring it up here a little bit.
Bring around the Death Star.
What I think is going to happen and what I want to happen are two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Pep, your final thoughts?
So, I mean, I think everyone, or at least I've mentioned what I think Omega is. I think she is a strand cast or an engineered or enhanced clone with all of the Bad Batch's enhancements within her. But I think what everyone has forgotten, which what I want to hint at the very least, is I don't think that they really want Omega. And I think when they bring her back, Cad Bane or Fennec or whoever ends up with that bounty, when they bring her back, they're gonna be like, where's the gem? She doesn't have it. And I think they didn't want Omega back. I think they wanted the gem, and the gem is the crux of something that is going to play into the ending of the Bad Batch. Because a lot of her feats that she did in terms of being force sensitive or being, enhanced was when she was wearing it. When she took it off, she needed training. She needed explanations from all of the Bad Batch. She couldn't handle the bow without training from Echo. But when she had that tiara on, she could shoot the blasters. She can shoot just fine, and she was very capable until she took it off. So I think more so than bringing back Omega, they need what she was wearing. And that's going to lead to a toothpick fight between Crosshair and Cad Bane, who shoot it best. And then it's going to lead to, everyone, or not everyone, but I'm hearing a lot of like they're all going to die. I think the person who's going to die is going to be Crosshair. He's going to redeem himself. But in the process, Omega, he's going to try to make it up to Omega or his team. Cody or maybe an Inquisitor, someone is going to present a huge threat to the Bad Batch, and he's going to get in the way and save them, and he's going to be the only one to die. So I'll just be like 1/6 sad.
1/6 of a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure you
And
don't have
for
any
me,
planting in you.
everybody ends up okay, and they open up a restaurant, and it's called Six Clones and a Teenager, and they just serve up like 50 style diner stuff, and their head cook is Dexter Jetster.
Dude,
So
you know, in Canada, like last year or the year before that, in Canada, there was some Star Wars themed like bar that was opened, and they had an employee dressed up as a stormtrooper with a fake gun. And someone called the police, and the Canadian cops went and they held that employee in stormtrooper armor on gunpoint. I'll send you the link on the chat.
Right. Okay.
Did you guys hear about that?
I didn't hear about that, but that's that stormtrooper is lucky on two accounts. A, he was in Canada. B, he was wearing a helmet, because if he was black, never mind. Anyway,
I have a Han Solo blaster, and I can't wear it. Like I can't wear it anywhere. I can only wear it at home. Everywhere it's not able to go, even if it has the orange tip and it's a blaster, not a gun. It just
I'll send you a link on the chat, guys.
All right, so we got our final thoughts from everyone, and now we go to Gray for Gray, your final thoughts, and also another question we had asked is, what are we going to find out about Omega?
I don't know if Omega is particularly that incredibly special. Maybe just a little bit of the clones. I don't think she's force sensitive. I think she's like a little kid, so they're able to read feelings and stuff better than adults. So I think she might be just a little bit of all the clones, but maybe not the strength of like Wrecker. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe she just learns faster, and so she can pick up things. But I don't think she's really that standoutish. And what's special is, to me, her DNA, what they need. Maybe one little thing that didn't work the same as the others, and so they need her back for that. And I was thinking that Crosshair, he could possibly now have some sort of like medical apparatus that affects his breathing and whatnot now, after he just got his face burned up by an ion engine and breathing in that heat. And so he could possibly be all kind of crazy looking. And just from what I've read about the Bad Batch, I do think, and that they're not in anything, it's not what I want. I do think that they will not be around after the end of this season, and I think they will save Omega.
Okay.
There's one other possibility.
Oh.
Death Trooper?
Well, the Empire has Task Force 99. And other than Sergeant Creel, we don't see any of their faces.
Oh.
Didn't think about that.
No.
If you get what I'm saying, Harris gets what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no. Super chip reactivation.
I'm just, they
remove their chips.
They don't even have a.
Oh
they
yeah,
have
that's
to put
fair.
new
Yeah, no,
ones
they're
in.
completely gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll just stick it back in.
Unless they get captured and replanted with ones.
like better ones.
Yeah.
Chip
Maybe.
2.0. I don't know.
Oh.
Awesome.
And you called us a bummer.
Chaco's even more of a bummer than the people that want everyone to die.
Wow. He went
Wow.
darker.
Yeah. Hey, damn it. Yes, but thank you guys so much for joining me to have this conversation. As nerd specialists, Nate, sometimes we just gotta talk about this stuff. Let it out. Learn from each other, sharpen each other. It's just a lot of fun. I appreciate you and everyone involved. This was my trial run of having a conversation with people the day after the episode. I feel like
Okay.
this was a success. So let's do it again. Yeah,
100%.
hopefully we'll see y'all back next week because we'll see what happens further with the Bad Batch. But yeah, thank you once again for joining, and may the force be with everyone.
Can I just ask
Yeah, the
everyone
force
one
be
more
with you.
thing before we all leave? I want everyone to go in order in their best impression to go say hello there, and I'm just a simple man making my way through the galaxy.
Sanjay, if I
In your
may,
best impression.
if I may,
Yeah.
it's not your show, so
I know.
let Chaco end it.
I know.
Yeah, that's what we are going to end it. Thank you everyone for joining.